Good morning, dolls, and welcome to Little Gretchen's workshop. So I'm really working hard to get Aunt Bess and Aunt Janie all settled in their new home before I go off on recovery. So this is the sink that I purchased for them at the estate sale this summer, and I just need to add the hardware. Now I am going to use my Loctite super glue gel because it's nice, it doesn't run, it dries clear, and it holds really securely. Now these are the pieces that came with the little sink. Now this is a very lovely sink. I actually have one like it in my original dollhouse, and it is actually made of ceramic. Now you want to carefully put a nice amount of the Loctite glue on whichever component you're using. Now I'm just dropping the little drain surround right into the little ceramic hole, and I'm going to allow it to set. Now it's a little bit different when you do the knobs or the faucets. You definitely want to use gravity in your favor. So I lay it on its back so I can drop the little fixtures down into the hole and they'll sit upright until they dry. If you try to do it the other way, it's a disaster. Now I'm using my fingers, but it would actually be a best practice to hold it with some tweezers because you don't want to get that glue on your fingers. And I'm using my really small tweezers to help me adjust it to make sure it's straight and lined up, because after it sets, if it's crooked, it's going to be very difficult to remove it without breaking the sink. So take your time and do it correctly the first time. Now it's time to add the legs and the drain. Now you may wonder, how is it going to be stable just by the drain leg and the two legs in the front? But it actually stays balanced pretty well because it's resting up against the wall. But for the drain pipe, I actually use the weld bond in that hole because it's a little bit deeper and the weld bond is a thicker, heavier glue, and it fills the gaps to give it a secure fit. Now the drain leg will be fine resting on the desktop, but the front legs will need support to keep them level while they dry. So it truly looks like the dolls are making their new house their home. They've got a couple potted plants on the porch, a welcome mat, their bike is on the porch, and there's the wagon. The children must have been here earlier. So now let's check out the top porch and see what's going on there. Now you can see from here I did go ahead and complete the top porch with the same flooring treatment as I did the first floor porch. They've got a little plant out there, and there's the furniture that I enhanced and added a rocker to. I think it looks nice in the black as a patio set. And they've got another little plant there at the door, and they're going to need a nice curtain up at that window for a little bit of privacy, but I did add a doorknob. So things are coming together with the Dress Shop Dollhouse. They still have a lot of things that need to be moved and unpacking to do, but let's go check on the kitchen. And here we are in the new Dress Shop Dollhouse kitchen, and here is my stove. If you haven't seen the video of when I created it, I will leave a link in the description. So I'm still working out how I'm going to place things in the kitchen so that it'll work well for a nice workflow for the dolls and where things will be accessible. So now that I've assembled the sink and created the oven or stove, and I've got a nice table with two chairs, it's time for me to introduce the newest addition to the kitchen, which is the little refrigerator. They call this a monitor refrigerator. I guess it's because that big thing on the top. But I was really excited to get this at a tremendous bargain off of eBay. And I will leave a link in the description so that you can see the haul or the unboxing when I got that item. But I think it fits really nicely over in that corner. Yeah, I think that's nice. Now, I'm trying to kind of balance things out because the stove is kind of the biggest item. It's bigger and it's heavier, so I kind of wanted it more toward the opening because I want to reserve some of that other space in the back of the kitchen for other things such as storage. So I've got plans to make an upper cabinet, but let me put these dishes over here because the dolls have already had their coffee and their breakfast, so these dishes need to be washed. So they need to be on the sink really quick. So that's that lovely set of dishes my friend Nessie from Nessie Monster Craft made for me a little while back, and they're so adorable. And apparently they're already the dolls' favorites because they're the first dishes to use in their new home. And I'm just trying to arrange those dishes over there on the sink. Now I was given the suggestion to put the stove on that back wall, but then it would block the window, and I want the room to have as much light as possible. So right now, dolls, I'm using this opportunity to play because for me, playing is the only way to determine what I really need. Now, I do like the items that I already have, I just want to show you how my stove works here because I think I mentioned it when I was making the stove, but I didn't show you all. So I added magnets to that part so it would be removable so I'd have access to the inside to work the fire. Now I want to test out a few of the pans on the stove, but I'm just thinking about pots and pans on the wall, the shelves I need to make, and what goes on the floor. Let me see what I have. Now, dolls, I've been collecting things for this project for quite a while, and this is one of the newest additions. It's a little pie that came with the appliances. I think it's so adorable. So let me just pull out all the things that I have for this project. Now, this is new. It came with the appliances as well. I'm going to enhance it a little bit, but it's definitely going to be a part of this collection. And I just got this the other day from my friend Becky when I made a purchase from her eBay store. And look at this. These are some jars of jams and preserves. I'm going to definitely use that from Becky as well. So let me dig deep into my stash of all the things I've been collecting for this project in particular. So those are two little rugs that came from my friend Carol. And let me go through my box of goodies and see what I've got for this kitchen project. Now those are some nice little pieces that go on the shelves. Now, these are items that I got last year at the Ann Arbor Miniature Show. You definitely have to have Hershey's chocolate. And I'm just sorting through the things to determine what I'm actually going to use specifically. Now, I'm sorting through to get things for Aunt Janie and Aunt Bess, but I'm realizing I need to consider Miss Betty. So as I go through the things, I think I have a lot of duplicates. I'm going to set aside some things just for Miss Betty and Pop's new home. And this is another reason why extras are a good idea, especially if you get them at a good price. Now here I've got several paper bags. I've got cornmeal and sugar and oatmeal and Epsom salt. So again, the ones that I have duplicates of, I'll put them away for when it's time for me to do Miss Betty's new kitchen. So sorting through these things and kind of playing around will give me an idea of what my storage units would need to look like based on the things I have to store. Now I do have quite a few of these little bags, so I'm definitely going to have to split those between the houses. Now this is a lovely item that I got at the Ann Arbor Miniature Show from my precious doll named Jill. Her business is called My Happy Place Miniatures, and I will leave her contact information in the description. I knew it. I've got some more salt, so I'm going to save that for Miss Betty. And this looks like a bottle of cough syrup, so I'm going to put that in the medicine chest. Oh yes, I have a couple cans of pet milk, so I can share those among the houses. Now I've got a nice little collection of things for Miss Betty's house. Now let's see what's in this little bag. Now I do see quite a few things from my treasure unboxing, but I do have other things, so it is quite a mix in this bag. So let me show you. I've got a couple food items. Got a really nice telephone. I think I ordered that from Minimum World. And I've got a tea kettle for the kitchen. Then I got this really nice pot that I painted silver. It came from my friend Lana from Panache Luxury. So I'm going to just start sorting things and putting the things for the Dress Shop Dollhouse and then Betty's things in separate containers so I don't get them all mixed up. Now this is a cute little rug that I got off of Minimum World. And I also have some really nice muffin tins. And I'm really glad that I bought more than one. And then I've got a little picture of a dog. Now that's not a food item, but it's really cute. And here's some more of those wonderful little metal plates that I actually put in the cabinets in the Rooming House Dollhouse cabinet that I created. I think I may do another cabinet like that. And these are little baby food jars, and I'm going to put that with the birth certificate. And this is a lovely tray that came from my friend Becky. I'm going to save that for something else. And then I've got a package of those very familiar little cans of food. And this is a lovely picture of Aunt Shirley and Uncle Ernest when they got married. So this picture stays with the house. I don't know how I got among the food items, but I'm definitely going to put that somewhere in the Dress Shop Dollhouse. Now here I've got a few clear cups and glasses to mix in with the other items. So many of these pieces are from my friend Becky's store, The Happy Little Home. Now those clear glass plates came from my friend Lorraine B., who made me the big tool chest. Now all these wonderful little accessories are going to look really, really nice in the kitchen. Look at that little cupcake with the flower on it and butter. The little details that really make a huge difference in settings like kitchen or really in any room in the house, but especially in kitchens. It's a lovely little rolling pin. I love the red handles on that. Now, these are more items that were a gift, but they were from the Happy Little Home as well. These are replicas of those lovely tins that used to be so popular. So let me put everything in its proper container and have everything sorted so that I don't get anything mixed up. Now, it's really nice to use these little dollar store storage containers because they're just the right size and you're able to kind of pack things away and just have them handy, accessible, and predetermined so you don't have to keep resorting through things when you're ready to accessorize your projects. Now I've got most of the basics together for the Dress Shop Dollhouse kitchen, and I will add some other things. And I got a bag of ice there because there's so many other things I want to make, but it really helps to kind of know what you have or to do inventory periodically so you can see what you have and know what you need to make. Now, I had plans to sort through the china to determine what dishes I was going to stack, but I think I'll save that for another video. But we've got the rugs, the telephone, the clock, and I'm just thinking now that I've got everything sorted, I probably should mark these containers so that I don't get things mixed up. So I'm using a permanent marker. I hope it comes off if I need it to. Does permanent really mean permanent or just permanent temporarily? I'm not sure. Oh, and I almost forgot these lovely mixing bowls. Some of them are aluminum and the other ones I believe are made of resin, but you have to have mixing bowls. Now I've got this nice little brick piece from my original dollhouse, and I think I'm going to put the address on that for the Dress Shop Dollhouse. Now my daughter gave me these really cool little rubber gloves, but they're like a neon green. So I'm going to need to enhance them because they look way too modern. Wow, it looks like I have quite a few things that are going to need to be enhanced. So let me set those aside. I'm really excited because I didn't realize I had this many things to put in the kitchen. So now that I've sorted through everything, I have an idea of how much storage I need. Now, dolls, look at this beautiful tablecloth. I can't wait to put that in the house. And looking at the tablecloth makes me think about the tea sets and the china again. Yeah, I really don't have the bandwidth for that today. I really need to focus on the utility items, the cookware, the stove, and utensils. So let's go ahead and sort through all this cookware. So dolls, when it comes to cookware for my doll houses, I'm pretty partial to cast iron and copper. I really love cast iron in real life, so I definitely had to have it in my dollhouse. And although I don't have any copper cookware in real life, it's a must-have in my dollhouses. Now, among the cookware, I had these little canisters tucked in there, and I think I'm going to save those for Miss Betty's kitchen. So I've got a nice assortment of little pots and skillets, so let's see what I have so I can determine how to distribute them. Now, this is a lovely little waffle iron, and I just got that at the Ann Arbor Miniature Show this spring. And here are my lovely little cast iron skillets and pots. I really love them because they're really thin and they feel like real cast iron, but they're nice and small. They don't look chunky and thick. So I think these are going to be the main pieces that I keep to use in the dress shop kitchen. I love that little stock pot, but I do have a few more pieces of copper, so let me pull those out. Now these are slightly bigger in scale, but they'll still work because in a house where there's a lot of people, you need really big pots. Now a couple of these in this collection are definitely duplicates, so I can use one for each house. Looking at all these perfectly clean empty pots makes me excited because I'm thinking of all the things I can fill them with and all the different things I can do to make them look aged and used. Because growing up, some of the best tasting food came out of some really rugged looking pots because they had been faithful pots that had been used over and over again to cook wonderful meals. To this very day, I feel suspicious of pots and pans that look too new. Okay, so now that I have a handle on what I have and what I'm going to use in the dress shop, let me put the other things away and set them aside to when I need to fill those. And these I want to try out actually on the stove to see how they fit and determine how many I can get on the stove at one time. Now this is the stove that I just created in another video. I will leave the link in the description, but I want this stove to be really busy and have lots of pots and pans on it. I want the pots and pans to be filled with food. I want spoons and forks and utensils and dish towels and pot holders. So let's see how much we can get on here. Now, dolls, I'm really totally amused right now because you know this was a rogue build from scratch, no pattern, no kit, not even any sketches, but all my little pots fit perfectly on the little eyes, and I'm really tickled about that. Now, although I like that everything fits and everything it's plenty of room for all these pots, the fact that they're all black is really throwing me off, so I need to mix it up a little bit. So there's one of the ones that's copper. And then I've got this one that's kind of like that silver color, but I don't really like the way it looks. So let me try one of these blue and white ones. Now that's nice. It fits really good on that eye. So I like it because it's a little bit variety. The copper, the cast iron, the one that's ceramic. That looks good. And I've got this ceramic pot. So yeah, that looks much better visually than everything black. The top of the stove is black and all the pots and pans being black. So those are the kind of things you need to look at, dolls, when you're doing any type of scene or arrangement. You want things to look like they're naturally occurring, because when you're cooking, you choose pots and pans based on what you need, not that they're all the same color. So you just want to pull things together in a way that'll look visually interesting, because your eye will get bored if everything looks the same. So now that I've got my pots and pans on the stove, I just want to put a couple more things on there just to see how things will look. I am just way too excited about these little pies. I just have to put them in the oven. So I'm going to put that one in there and just tuck the other one in there. Oh yeah, wait, where's my waffle iron? That'd be cute on the top of the stove. And I'm thinking about making a hook or a rack or something to hang some things on the side. Oh wait, the little copper pots have hooks on them, so they hang on their own. So dolls, these are some of the wonderful things you discover only when you play. Now, if you enjoyed this video today and want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe and let me know in the comments. So let me get back to work and start filling these pots. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Little Gretchen's Workshop. Bye-bye now, dolls.